Hi, I'm Jackie Wilson, co-founder of Positively Empowered Kids, and today I have got Deana Wildgoose with me from ThinkFC, who is going to show you how to make a What Could I bird. Deana.
Thank you, Jackie. Hello, everybody. So, hope you're sitting comfortably, and what you'll need for this exercise to make a What Could I bird is a piece of paper which is made into a square. I've already made mine into a square, but if you've got a A4 piece, just make a square. So you need a square, a pen. You can have a feather if you like, but you don't have to, and you might need some eyes, but again, you can use a pen. So literally all you really need is a bit of paper and a pen. So you've got your square of paper and you fold it in half like this. Me and Jackie have made loads of these, so apologies if we go too fast. We'll try and go as slow as we can. So you fold it in half, and then in the same direction, fold it in half again. It looks a bit like that. And then do these creases really thin, so that squeeze them so that they're really sharp. Okay, then you're going to open out your piece of paper. The best way to hold it is that way, so it's like a bridge shape, rather than that way, which is more like a valley. So hold it that way, and then this is the trickiest bit. You push it up to create this T shape. You see that? And then one side automatically sort of flops down. There we go. Now the important bit now is when you do this next bit, we're going to make an arrowhead on each end. You do it on this side. Don't turn it over, because if you turn it over, the beak won't open. So keep it the way it's just been, and then either end, you're going to make an arrowhead like this. I will show you. So you do one end and then do the other. You can pause this at any time, obviously, to and you can go back, because when I learned to do this, I did find a YouTube video and I had to keep stopping and starting. So you should have something that looks like that. Well done, Jackie. Right, now then you're going to fold into the middle, and that means all the creasy bits all go into the middle, and you're left with this. You'll know you've done it right if you've actually got a boat. If you haven't got a boat, it means you folded something wrong. So Jackie, well done, we've got a boat. We have a yellow and an orange boat. Now the next challenge is to do a little tear in the middle of the longest edge. Best way of doing that is just fold it in half and give it a nip. Now if you're using card, you might need to use a bit of scissors, so take care, otherwise you can just tear it like so, about 1 centimetre. But you can do this with absolutely any size of paper, so you can have tiny bits of paper and make really dinky What Could I birds, or you could do really big ones. We've made massive ones at festivals and events, and there is a purpose that's really cool for making these birds, which basically help with your thinking, but we'll come to that so we don't confuse things. So when you've made your little tear, you're going to fold over on both sides to make a little sort of collar. This creates the beaky bit. So you should have something that looks a little bit like that. If it, give it all a good squeeze, and then the best way I find of doing this is you hold these two bits and you just push it out, making sure that bit doesn't come undone. And if you put your fingers inside and give it a wiggle, this one, it's making a little snap. Jackie, is yours?
Snap, snap.
It's always good if it makes a little snap, and sometimes the smaller ones make a really good snap. So you've now got a beak, but you might notice that this bird hasn't got any eyes. Therefore, the hindering thoughts that it's looking for, it can't see. So we need a pair of eyes. So you can just get a pen and draw them on, or I've got this roll of eyes, which is quite handy, and I'm going to pop 2 of those on. So once it's got a set of eyes, it can spot any hindering thoughts. Now, a hindering thought in our world is any thought that isn't helping you. So if you're having thoughts that aren't helpful, they are automatically hindering. And now it's got a set of eyes, it can spot them and it can make a noise about them. Now, Jackie's done what is very important. You have to have a little beaky bit.
There's one I made earlier.
There's one made earlier. So you've got the beak, and no What Could I bird will be complete without a little feather in its cap. So you can make it look really cool. So now you've got a little bird and a beak, and it can spot things that aren't helpful. And you're going to add something to its mouth. Now, you're going to add these 4 words, which I've just written on here. and you're going to put them in the mouth. So we're going to share a screen, and I'm going to say the words so that you can write them in its mouth. And then when we come back, hopefully we'll all have the words too. So let's just see if this works. Share screen, and hopefully Jackie will let me know whether this can be seen. Can that be seen,
Yep,
Jackie?
it
Right.
is.
So inside the mouth, you're going to write the words say, ask, remember, and imagine. And you can pause here to be able to write those down. Okay, and I'll come back from there. So you'll notice it's changed its feathers because I've made a new one. So we have what could I birds with their little beady eyes spotting hindering thoughts. And then when you've spotted something that's not helping you, then it's your choice if you want to change it or not. So let's say it's something you do want to change. Then what you can do is you can use these 4 words to help you change it by just asking some questions around these. So you might say, what could you imagine that's more helpful than what you currently imagine? Yeah, get you to think about the future and imagine something more helpful than what you're currently thinking about. You might want to remember something. So what could I remember that's more helpful than what I'm currently remembering? So if you're remembering, if you're having a bad day and you're thinking, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, what could you remember that's more helpful than saying that to yourself? You might want to ask, what could you ask that's more helpful? You might want to ask a question that is more helpful than what you're currently saying to yourself. And the final one is say. What could you say that's more helpful? And we've used these all over the place, haven't we, Jackie?
Absolutely. They're so helpful. Kids love them. They're so brilliant.
Schools, professors, so anybody of any age can do it. And a famous little quote that people say when I'm having a bad day, young people I've made this with say to me, Deana, is that helpful or hindering what you're saying to yourself? And I go, yeah, that's a hindering thought, fair enough. I spotted the hindering thought, I'm going to change it by saying something more helpful to myself.
Very good.
There are instructions on our website, and it's all free to download, so thinkfc.org.uk. There's a website and you can download the instructions on how to make the What Could I Bird, and you can have a practice at when you might use it. But have you got any hindering thoughts you want to share, Jackie?
My hindering thoughts are we going to get enough people to come to our event tomorrow?
So Jackie's got a hindering thought. Okay, so the What Could I Bird, it spotted that hindering thought, Jackie. Do you want to change that hindering thought for something more helpful?
Of course, absolutely.
So what might you say that's more helpful?
How can I make sure lots of people find out what we are doing?
Excellent, and that'll give you loads of ideas of thinking about different people that you could contact. What could you imagine that's more helpful?
I could imagine so many people sharing our event and coming and joining us on the day.
Yeah, and I can imagine even if one person is there and they get an amazing experience, will that have been worth it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you can use it to think yourself, or you can offer some little, you can say, could you imagine this, and come up with some ideas yourself. What could you remember that's more helpful?
I could remember our last event got lots and lots of people that came to it, and there was lots of interaction and lots of positive feedback.
And finally, what might you ask that's more helpful?
I might ask myself to think about what I've got to do and what could I do that is going to help more people to find out about it.
So how's your hindering thought now, Jackie?
I forgot it.
Brilliant, you see, it works every time if you want to change your hindering thoughts to more helpful ones, and that's the key to it really. If you actually want to change the hindering thoughts to something more helpful, then you've got a little bird. And the great thing is, once you've made one and you know how to make it, you can share it with other people, and even if you haven't got it, it's with you, because you can remember those 4 words: say, ask, remember, and imagine.
Well, thank you very much. That was wonderful. I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. Do have a go and watch it back if you need to, and share away. Share this with everybody. You can teach it across Zoom or however you like. Teach it to your friends, your parents, and everybody else. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Deana. Bye bye.